It has once again been a long time since a Dead Matter update, but it has finally dropped. I'll be going over what the Dead Matter update talks about, and then I will give my overall thoughts towards the end of the video. Unfiltered, of course. There will be timestamps in the description below, so that way if you want to skip ahead and watch that one instead of going and hearing about what's in the actual update, then you can go ahead and do that. Let's begin. So the first thing that they speak to is that they have now opened up a physical location in Calgary, which will enable them to take reference shots of real locations in Alberta. This could have some great implications to the end product of the game and future development. They go on to say that they realize that it has been a long time since the last patch, and they said that it is due to them trying to fix a lot of systems that are causing performance issues and other things that have been plaguing the user experience. They do promise that the next patch, 0.6, will include a significant amount of improvements to multiple systems within the game. They say that they are implementing a new zombie spawning feature which will allow you to clear out an area until it becomes repopulated. Essentially, they have created a grid system which houses a specific number of zombies which you can then kill altogether before they start repopulating and things like that. So this will make it a lot easier to maybe take over an area. Really good idea, honestly. New behaviors to these zombies have also been added, like they can jump. One of the larger issues Dead Matter has had in the past and up to currently actually is item persistence. Things like containers, vehicles, base elements would just disappear whenever you would log off, and hours of gameplay would then be wasted. And though this will always be unacceptable, they have now said that they have fixed it and it will be implemented in the next 0.6 update. They said that vehicles should now persist correctly along with doors and any containers that the player decides to place down into the world. Hopefully this actually fixes the problems, because obviously players won't stick around if none of their work is saved. Some other things they have fixed is some hit detection issues, so that way your PvP encounters will be a little bit more consistent and you won't be having bullets going through people like they don't even exist, so that's nice. Perk system will also be changing in the future 0.6 and 0.7 updates, as well as the medical system and character creation. Essentially, it sounds like a massive overhaul, just generally speaking, of a lot of the constructs in the game. A new skin shader has been implemented, but to be honest, I don't care. Yes, it looks great, but let's be real, no one cares. At least not a lot of people care. People care more about optimization, rewarding gameplay, and less about how aesthetically pleasing the game actually is. They added a new 1895 lever action rifle, which as always looks fantastic, but I remember in the past they said that they don't want Dead Matter to be known simply for great gunplay animations, and yet they keep adding more guns and showing how great they are, and they are great, but like I said just earlier, no one cares that much if you can't even play the game to begin with. They want optimization. Roblox is stinking popular and it looks like trash. Then the developers begin a new segment titled The Future, and they talk a lot about how the main map of Alberta will be changing big time with a mixture of procedurally generated areas and a new height map that they're going to be trying out in real time. Also, some light fixes will come which will make the interior of buildings darker, and they explain how, but I don't really want to get into all of that because if you want to know the details, you can simply read it yourself. Then they give us some sneak peeks of what the future game looks like, and these include screenshots you see on the screen right now. They speak about how the lighting is more realistic and it more closely aligns with the original vision for what Dead Matter should look like, and that's great. It really is. The fact that they released a product that wasn't their original vision for Dead Matter didn't go unnoticed by the players, and I'm not sure where the art style changed in the development cycle, but it's good that they're going back. However, like I said in the last update video I did, I really don't think players care about screenshots anymore, and they certainly don't care about the gameplay unless it is on a public server that they themselves can play on. Yes, the pictures look great, but so did the developer vlogs. The Dead Matter community has trust issues after the launch, and it's going to take a lot more than just screenshots of a newly built world or shades on somebody's hands or a new gun to bring them back. Also, backer rewards are apparently coming, namely the hockey jersey, so if you ordered one of those, congratulations, you're getting it. The last portions of the blog update talk about how there are major components of the game that they want to fix, like portions of base claiming, which I agree some of those do need to be addressed, so it's good that they are doing that. They also said in the future update you won't be able to find a functional vehicle, which is interesting, and I'll get into that later down in the video, that you will need to repair them in order to drive them. And they also talked about how their crafting is terrible and not many people know how to find new recipes or combinations, and they said they will fix that in the future. Now then, on to my thoughts generally about this update. I was honestly pretty stunned, and not in a very good way. I know there's a lot of YouTubers and content creators out there saying, wow, what a great update, guys. Isn't this fantastic? It's all a step in the right direction. Isn't this great? No. I don't think so. A month ago, they dropped an update that gave virtually no relevant information, right? And now a month later, they dropped this blog update, which is essentially them looking for developers, showing off their new workspace, showcasing lighting, shady knuckles, showing a gun, and talking about how bad they know the bugs are, and a bunch of other weird stuff like the vehicles. And yet, though they're talking about all this stuff like lighting and shading and the gun and how awful the bugs are, they say they are, quote, committed to putting out a version of the game that not only we can be proud of, but something that our backers can be truly proud of as well. And I have talked to a few of the backers, and they all say the same thing. They say, I'll believe it when I see it. And I understand that sentiment, and I share that sentiment, and so should you guys. Showing screenshots does nothing anymore. Showing guns does nothing anymore. Like this user on their Facebook post said, stop blagging about the guns. You hyped those massively pre-release, and now the game is a letdown. Any mention of new guns feels like we're spending time on crap that's not important rather than fixing what is important. And I know that you guys have different developers for different jobs, but I'm saying that this is the public perception, and it's not changing because players aren't getting on the game. Do you know what the community wants? They want a playable product. They want a product that was shown to them in the developer blogs, the product that is smooth, that is gritty, that is fun, that is playable. But instead of that, the community was delivered a product that apparently isn't the original vision of the game somehow. When did this vision change? Was it an accident or was it purposeful? Who made the decision to change the vision of the game that keeps getting brought up? Why was the current vision of the game good enough to publish but not good enough to keep? I have so many questions about their vision of the game when they bring it up, and they bring it up a lot, so they just don't explain why it changed, why it's an issue now. And the vehicles, I said I was going to get into the vehicles, and here we go. The developers say, quote, in a future update, you will no longer find vehicles in working order, and you must repair them in order to drive them away, end quote. Why? Isn't the game setting just 2 weeks after the fall of civilization? What has happened to all of the vehicles to where they are all broke? Were they not just working very recently, all of them? Did the people just turn into zombies and then just find all the vehicles and have like this hive mind thing, and they're like, oh, they can't have cars, we better go take all the spark plugs and the radiators out, and then they go and they do that? Is that what happened? Is that the lore? They haven't told us. Was there a nuke? Was there an EMP bomb? Who the heck knows? First vehicles worked, now vehicles won't work. I don't know what's going on. Also, along with making vehicles all broken in a future update, they have decided to spread out the points of interest. So there's that. If you can't fix a vehicle, then you're going to be running even more. And I know they have their reasons for doing so. They say so in the developer vlog, but like, I don't know how it's going to work. Is there a skill level required to fix a vehicle now? Will you be forced to team up with a mechanic? Can you learn? You can learn how to be a good mechanic, right? Do you need to start on a bicycle first? How does this work? I don't know. Maybe I'm just misunderstanding this whole thing, but that's what I thought of whenever I read it. It was just very strange to me. And also, I just really want to know, like, how bad is the state of the game whenever you release a developer blog and one of the key points that you're celebrating is item persistence? Now, call me old-fashioned, but I think that if you release a game, closed alpha or not, players should be able to gather items, and they should be able to keep those items. I don't know. Is that unpopular? I don't know. Why? How come the game is released this long and it still is an issue. Why can players not gather money and resources and armaments and clothing? Why can't they do that? Why can't they build a base? Why do doors not work? Like, this is like not things people would expect to not work at this point. Like, these are things that people were shown in developer vlogs and that just aren't here. And collecting gear is how players progress in a survival game. And if they can't save that gear, if they can't progress, if they can't store that loot, then players are going to stop playing the game, as we have seen, because there's no progression, there's no point. Who wants to start over every time? And if they know this, which I know they do, I'm really curious why this wasn't like the #1 thing. Is getting players not important? Is keeping the players not important? Keep in mind that all of these fixes, the skin meshes, the lighting, and that lever action rifle they showed off will come in the future update of 0.6. It's not currently in the game. So all of this doesn't matter yet because there's no ETA. So we are waiting at least a month between blog posts that give virtually no relevant information other than questions in my eyes. The update is supposed to be a big fix for a lot of things, but they're not going to give us any ETA for this. That's troubling to me. That is troubling to me because Dead Matter has always been about, here's what we're doing, here's what's coming, here's what's coming, here's what's coming. And then we get it, and it's either broken, or it's not what we wanted, or it's not what they said it would be, or it's the wrong vision. It's like, are we seeing a pattern here? I am honestly just stunned, honestly, at this point. I feel like they have nothing real to show. So in order to try and avoid backlash, they toss together some information about what they hope to achieve, or what they are working on, or what they have been working on for the past month or so, but they have no clue when it will be ready. So it's just like tagging us along a little bit. Stay with us, guys. And the cherry on top of the cake is that they won't be hitting their Q1 2021 early access. But honestly, who is surprised by that? I'm not. I'm not. They have missed virtually all of their deadlines. And anybody who has seen recent streams of the game or any footage at all from their partners, who would think that it would be ready to go in that state? So at least it's good that they're not doing that. Although the bad news is that the NDA obviously won't be lifted because of that, but it is what it is. I'm just going to say that I really hope that they can show something meaningful to the community and soon, because screenshots, guns, videos in test areas or client-side servers, they're not good enough, and they won't be good enough ever again. Not after the release, not after the drastic difference between what they showed in their developer vlogs and what the community actually got. And that's all I gotta say about it. Thank you to my community sponsors. If you guys want to play on a legit survival game and a legit server, check out my SCUM information in the description below. And if you guys like scares, survival, and scavenging, consider hitting that subscribe button, that like button, and I will see you guys in the next one. Path out.